Okay guys, we made it. Here is the preview and injury report for the final round of AMA Pro Motocross this Saturday at Budds Creek in Maryland. Even though Jet Lawrence wrapped up the title last weekend, there are still a lot of talking points, so let's dive in. In the 450 class, as stated, Jet Lawrence wrapped up the title at Unadilla. And while some champions might mail it in at this point, that's not really Jet's MO. Jet has lost 2 races this summer, and you can bet he doesn't want to add another to that list. However, Eli Tomac does not have a win yet this summer, and this would be his last chance to get an overall in Pro Motocross for 2025. Not to mention, Hunter Lawrence and RJ Hampshire have been rolling in the second half of the season, so Jet really can't afford to take it easy. In the 250 class, Joe Shimoda has cut Hayden Deegan's lead down to 43 points. Joe rode amazing at Unadilla, but it still might be too little too late, as all Hayden Deegan has to do is get 15th or better in Moto 1 to wrap up his second 250 motocross title in a row. Keep in mind, Deegan has had some of his best rides ever at Budds Creek, and he would also likely want to head into the SMX playoffs with momentum. So, while Danger Boy could play it safe this weekend, there are reasons to think that he'll shoot for the win. Now, for more on the track, here is Jason Thomas.
The finale of the 2025 Pro Motocross Championship is at Budds Creek, Maryland, for maybe the first time ever. And this is a track that is pretty universally liked by the riders. The orange clay gives a lot of traction. The elevation adds some fun to the racetrack. One of the only downsides is that it can get pretty one-lined. A lot of the corners will funnel to the inside. Some of the off-cambers funnel to the inside. So passing can be difficult. So what does that do to the racing? It makes it critically important to get a good start. Take a step back from that. Getting a good start often depends on qualifying very well. So this is one of the rounds of the series that qualifying really matters. It depends on how the track prep is as far as which practice those qualifying laps will come from. So riders need to pay attention. Is the track really muddy in the first session? If so, the second session could provide quicker lap times. If it's in really good condition in that first session, though, riders really have to lay a lap in because that will dictate their qualifying and their starting position for the rest of the day. And at this particular racetrack, if you qualify well, it's virtually impossible to get a good start, which is going to put you at the back of the field. You won't get good starts. You won't be able to pass, which is typically going to end in a less than desirable result. So early in the morning, your results will start there, and it will be a snowball effect throughout the day. If you don't qualify well, that will turn into a poor start, which will turn into a poor first lap position, which will make your life much more difficult as a racer. For the fans, we're getting a little break from the heat. It's going to be a great day. We're going to be handing out a championship in the 250 class. Jet Lawrence has already secured the 450 championship, but overall, should be a great day in Southern Maryland. Enjoy it. It's the finale of the Pro Motocross Championship.
Thanks, JT. Now for the injury report brought to you by Leatt. In the 450 class, Jason Anderson and Aaron Plessinger are both out with illnesses. Grant Harlan and Derek Kelly are both out with leg injuries, and Joey Savacci had a leg injury. He's healed up, but he's waiting for the SMX playoffs to return to action. Freddie Noren has a broken foot, so he'll be out. Colt Nichols is out with a torn UCL in his thumb. Cooper Webb had surgery on his knee. He is back on the bike and will return for the SMX playoffs. And Chase Sexton is on a similar timeline. He hurt his shoulder at Ironman, and he will also return for the playoffs. In the 250 class, Max Anstey, Jet Reynolds, and Jalik Swoll are all out with leg injuries, as well as Jack Chambers, who just broke his leg at Unadilla. Pierce Brown crashed at Ironman. It was his first race back after breaking his back. He's banged up, and so he's just going to sit out this weekend again. Casey Cochran and Nick Romano are both out with shoulder injuries. Trevor Collop is still recovering from complications due to a crash at Hangtown, and you can go to roadtorecovery.com to help out Trevor. Evan Ferry is out with an Achilles injury, and Mikkel Harrop, who has been on fire this summer, had a tough day at Unadilla breaking his collarbone, so he's going to be out. Chance Hymas, Cameron McAdoo, and Gavin Towers all have knee injuries and will sit out. Caden Minear is out with a thumb injury, and Michael Mosman, who had a scary get-off at Unadilla, will sit out after suffering a minor concussion and this gnarly cut above his eye. Carson Mumford is out with an ankle injury, and Dylan Schwartz hurt his ankle at Unadilla, but he is going to give it a go this weekend at Buds as he is fighting for the final spot in the top 20 for the playoffs. That's it for the injury report. At Buds Creek, WMX will kick off the action on Friday with 2 motos, and then they will race a third moto on Saturday to make up for the one that got rained out at Thunder Valley. That moto will air live on Peacock. Lala Turner has a 24-point lead and will most likely wrap up her second straight WMX title this weekend, though if the racing is anything like that first moto at Unadilla, Charlie Cannon will not make it easy on her. In other news, the 450 class will race first this weekend, so Hayden Deegan is going to have to wait a little bit longer for his championship celebration. It's bound to be a great weekend of racing, and you won't want to miss it.